How do pilots control a massive aircraft flying thousands of feet above the ground at incredible speeds? Welcome to the fascinating world of airline cockpits, where advanced technology and human expertise come together to make flying possible. What we will cover today: the cockpit, the brain of the airplane, altitude and speed of commercial planes, how pilots control the aircraft, the system used for setting flight routes, how much fuel airplanes consume, route planning and flight permissions, pilot responsibilities, and even what the future of flying might look like. Let's start with cockpit, the brain of an airline. Step into an airline cockpit. You will see the collection of buttons, switches and glowing screens. It might look overwhelming, but every single control has a purpose. The cockpit, also known as a flight deck, is designed to ensure safe and efficient flying. Overhead panel manages critical systems like fuel, electricity and cabin pressure. Center console houses the throttle, flaps, landing gear and autopilot controls. Now it comes to primary flight display. Shows altitude, speed and direction. Then navigation display, maps, weather and landscape awareness. Then there is engine indicators, which monitors fuel levels and engine performance. And then autopilot controls that helps maintain the speed, altitude and the flight path. And then there is a weather radar, which detects turbulence and storms. Then there is a communication panel which links pilots to air traffic control, which is ATC. Most airliners are flown by two highly trained professionals: the captain, left seat, and the first officer, right seat. They work together to operate the aircraft safely. Then altitude and speed. Commercial planes like Boeing 737 and Airbus A320 typically flies at 35,000 feet, which is about 10.6 kilometers, while long-haul aircraft like the Boeing 787 can reach 43,000 feet, which is 13 kilometers. Flight speeds vary based on conditions and aircraft type, but most airlines travel between 800 kilometers to 950 kilometers per hour. Now let's talk about how pilots control the plane. Firstly, it's takeoff. Pilots push the throttle forward, accelerating aircraft until it reaches a rotation speed, usually 250 to 290 kilometers per hour. At rotation speed, the pilot gently pulls back on the yoke or side stick, lifting the plane off the ground. When you're in the air, yoke or side stick controls pitch up and down and roll, left and right banking. Then there's rudder pedals, control yaw, side to side movement, crucial for takeoff and landing. Throttle levers then adjust engine power to control speed. And then there's a landing. Pilot gradually reduce speed using flaps and spoiler, touching down at around 250 kilometers per hour speed. Alright, now let's understand how flight routes are set. Pilots rely on advanced systems to determine the flight paths, which is flight management system, the brain of the aircraft, calculating the best route and monitoring fuel consumption. Autopilot is the feature that handles routine flying tasks, allowing pilots to focus on decision making. Then there's an air traffic control, guides pilot through busy airspace using radio communication. And of course there's a navigation system, GPS, radar and inertial navigation ensures precise positioning even over oceans and remote areas. Then of course there's a safety alert options, advanced warning systems to notify pilots of potential hazards. The most interesting part: how much fuel do planes use? Fuel consumptions depends on distance, weather and aircraft type. Take an example of Boeing 747 carries about 240,000 liters fuel, enough for 1,000 cars. A fully loaded Boeing 747 burns about 12 liters per kilometer, a distance of a transatlantic flight from New York to London that requires 66,000 liters of fuel. Smaller planes like the Airbus A320 uses 3 liters per kilometer, while the Airbus A380 consumes around 15 liters per kilometer. Now let's understand what powers these planes. Jet engines, these engineering marvels are enormous, some over 4 meters, approx 13 feet wide, yet incredibly powerful. The Rolls-Royce Trent XWB engine on the Airbus A350 produces 97,000 pounds of thrust, enough to lift a small building. Let's understand route planning and airspace agreement. Flight routes are not as simple as drawing as a straight line between two countries. Airlines must follow designated airways and obtain permission to fly over different countries, often paying overflight fees based on aircraft type and distance flown. For transatlantic flights, pilots follow North Atlantic tracks, routes that change daily based on wind patterns and air traffic. Without these agreements, international air travel wouldn't be possible. What are the pilot's responsibilities? Pre-flight checks, they inspect the aircraft, review flight plans and analyze weather conditions. Then they also check monitoring systems which constantly check instruments even when autopilot is active. And emergency handling, trained to manage engine failures, storms or medical emergencies. Team coordinations, work with co-pilots, ATC and cabin crew to ensure safety. Flying is a team effort that requires skill, precision and teamwork. The future of flying looks exciting. New technology is making planes smarter and more efficient. Instead of buttons, cockpits will have a touch screens that are easier to use. Artificial intelligence will help predict problems before they happen and find the best routes to save fuel. Some companies are even testing planes with just one pilot instead of two, thanks to better automation. And then there is the push for cleaner aviation. Engineers are working on electric and hydrogen powered planes to reduce pollution and make flying greener. In the future, we might have supersonic planes that cut travel times in half. Imagine flying from New York to London in just 3 hours instead of 7. And there you have it, the amazing world of airline cockpits explained in the simple terms. From the controls and navigation system to fuel and pilot responsibilities. Flying is a perfect mix of human skill and advanced technology. The next time you board on a plane, take a moment to appreciate all the hard work that goes into keeping you safe in the skies. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends.